so apparently it came out that, excuse me, the New Orleans Hornets, excuse me, sorry, after a workout, will not, I need a trash bag going on in here, just cleaned it out. Well, they won't renew Brandon Ingram's, they won't extend him, so obviously that means that obviously he got to prove something that he can stay healthy, or they could be about to move on from him. We kind of talked about adding him to the Pistons, and I'm pretty sure if y'all follow my channel, y'all notice the message is the same. Every time y'all talk about, y'all talk about in the media or the fans talking about adding somebody, I mean, y'all, if y'all haven't watched the channel before, welcome to Motor City Sports Talk. Thumbs to the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Don't pander to fans. Tell it how it is, how I see it. You know what P Diddy say, or he was going by Puff Daddy. You tell her how, you know, I tell her how it is. You tell her how it might be. So I'm not gonna pander. I mean, shit. You know, people make videos. You just hating and you just, I don't really care what y'all say. Who are you? Who are you? Who am I? I don't really care about what I say. I just say from my opinion. But my whole thing is, if you add dirty water to a clean lake, it's still gonna turn to dirty water. So the Pistons organization is toxic right now. The head coach had to tell the owner to have the coach. I mean, the GM had to run to the owner to tell the coach to put in the player in, Jaden Ivey. The dynamics is not going to work till they get somebody that pull the strings the right way. And a coach that's going to help the Pistons get a calling card. They don't have a calling card. They're unwatchable. They're unbearable to watch. When you see the Pistons, when you say the Hornets is a bad team, right? By Michael Jordan sold them. But they're exciting. See all the young teams around the NBA turning around. Orlando, Houston. I mean, it's a few other ones out there. But you know, Brandon Ingram will be a star, but he's another. I mean, it's just really a problem in the NBA. What we gonna call it, an epidemic in the NBA, with the lack of players who can't play without the basketball. And you know, they got a lot to do with AAU. A lot of these guys not going to college for an extensive period of time, because college teach you the technical aspects of basketball. You know, how to move the basketball, how to beat the zone, drive and kick. You got to run plays to really defeat the zone in a long shot clock in college basketball. And a lot of these guys never had to play without the basketball. This is why guys like Cam Reddish, who was so hopeful that his draftees, the guys he got drafted with, said he was probably going to be the best pro, even over Zion Williamson and John Morant. The issue is they don't never learn to play without the basketball, and it's not hard. You know, you just learn to defend, because that's without the basketball. You learn to cut. You learn to show, slash, and all these guys got the capability of doing it, and they'll see how much easier it is to score the basketball if you move it, if you cut, if you make yourself, you know, ball handler friendly. You know, they would understand how easy the game is, how you post up. You know, when Joker want to get an easy bucket, it ain't going for him. He don't do what Joel Embiid do, fade closer to the 3-point line or beyond the arc. He just put his shoulder down and go get a bucket on the block. So, could Ingram and Cade Cunningham work? It can work, but they have to learn to play without the basketball. Could Booker, Ingram, Cade work? Yes. They have to learn to play without the basketball. That's the problem putting these super teams together, especially with a guy like Bron or what they tried to do in Phoenix. They didn't know how to play without the basketball. They didn't have the guy like Chris Paul to make the game easier for them. So, you know, they need somebody in Detroit that's going to come in either and make the game easier for them, a Rondo, Chris Paul type guy, or they need an offense like the San Antonio offense, like what Golden State run, which they still kind of got a Draymond Green to kind of, you know, facilitate. Which Cade Cunningham can be that guy, to be honest. And they can they can have an offense that's fluid, that can move the off. They cutting, they slashing, they doing high pick and rolls. with a dash of isolation in it. They don't have a system no more. Most NBA teams don't have a system. And you know, when you have young kids, you know, for my people that got kids and shit, you know, the one thing about having kids that I seen that came out the most successful kids are they told what to do. You know, go be a golf prodigy. You know what I'm saying? They're told what to do. You know, once you get them in the I had these tapes when I was younger. I think my mom gave them away. That helped you with study habits. The series was called Where There's a Will, There's an A. And it showed you how to study and how to create study habits and how to be successful in the classroom. Same thing with kids. You apply it. If you get your kids in a system, while they're young, okay, you come home, you get a snack, you do your homework. We're gonna be a chapter. I had a friend that his parents always made him stay a chapter or two ahead of where he was at. Then you go play. You know what I'm saying? After you go play, you come in, you wash up, we eat, you watch a little TV or do what you want to do. Then it's bedtime. On the weekends, we get up, we do yard work, we clean around the house. Then you go do what you want, or you got extracurricular activities. Then you hit the streets and do what you want to do. Sundays, I don't know, you go to church, you go eat, you know, do a little studying, then you get ready, you know, go do what you want to do. You get your kids into a system, you know, and they do this system from, let's say, from pre-K all the way to about 4th, 5th grade. It's going to be normal to them. You see what I'm saying? So when they go off to college, they done did it for 18 years. So they know what to do on their own because they've been doing it their whole life. So same thing with NBA players. These young players, they go to college for 2 or 3 years. They learn the system. They learn to play. Okay, I can't play isolated basketball against the traditional zone. I can't play 5-on-1, especially if it's in the half court. You smell me? So that's just what it is. That's just what it is. It's drive and kick. You know, it's drive and kick, cut, slash. And that's what they got to figure out. Either we're going to have a ball moving system, or we're going to have a couple guys that's, you know, a primary ball handler that's going to make sure everybody get the ball. Now, if you had to ask me, I think you want a bit of both. I think you want a Rondo, a Chris Paul, a Halliburton, you know what I'm saying, that's going to control the maestro and set people up, and a Chauncey Billups that's going to do that. But also you want a system in play where, you know what, you know, we moving the ball, we cut, and that's just the number one thing. And then once you figure that part out, then you can bring whoever you want to bring into the system. Until then, it's going to look like Tatum and Brown. It's going to look like Luke and Kyrie, or Kyrie and LeBron, where they just sharing the ball. You go, I go, you go, I go, you go, I go, with a whole bunch of surrounding, you know, characters. That's going to be hard to win a championship with. You look at the way Minnesota play basketball. When Conley out there, and he controlling the maestro. When Anthony Edwards and Conley not out, or Anthony Edwards not out there, they still moving the basketball. It's an actual system that Minnesota has. Denver, it's an actual system. It only becomes an isolated. It doesn't even never isolated system really. It only becomes. They only water it down when it's time to win. Okay, it's Murray and Jokic time. And what make that duo so dangerous is that Murray can run the pick and roll and be the ball handler. Jokic can be the ball handler, and Murray can be the picker. It's dangerous. But in the other times of the basketball game, they got a system where, okay, it could be Gordon night, it could be KCP night, it could be Braun night, it could be Reggie Jackson night. The way they have an actual system offensively, where the ball is just not sticking in one person's hand in the game, and they just, you know, it's just him and then everybody just supporting. No, they got a system which, you know, at any given night, 8 to 9 to 10 people can go get it. Anybody can be the star of the show outside of, you know, sometimes more, you know, with, you know, Jokic and, you know, Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray. And that's the problem with the Pistons. Whoever you tend to bring in there, it's just going to be your turn, my turn, your turn, my... No. It's not what you want. Ideally, that's not what you want. Trust me, ideally, that's not what you want. You want a system where it's fluid, it's ball, y'all moving the ball, y'all cutting. You know what I'm saying? That's why Golden State, people hated Golden State so well, is because Kevin Durant is like one of the last of the Mohegans who don't need the ball to be successful. He did the things, I mean, he could have been Defensive Player of the Year a couple of times in Golden State, to be real. He did the things for them to be defensively and offensively friendly. He didn't need the ball. Steph didn't need the ball. Clay didn't need the ball. Draymond didn't need the ball. Looney didn't need the ball. They had guys that literally did not need the ball to be successful. So they was unselfish, and they all was ball handler friendly. I mean, they was ball, dominant friendly. They didn't need the ball. So when you start looking at, say, well, if you bring Ingram in, you bring Murray in, you bring Trey in, you bring this guy, you trade for this guy. What is this? What will the system be like? If you're gonna bring more scorers in, are they gonna be committed defensively? Are we gonna get a true point guard that's gonna be able to facilitate? Are we gonna have a system in which the ball don't stick and it's gonna be friendly? What is going to be our go-to plays in the crunch time? Is it going to be Ingram and Cade Cunningham in the pick and roll? Is it going to be Cade fading to the corner? Let Booker do his thing. Whoever may come in. You got to have a vision. You can't just throw shit in the pot. Have a plan. And they don't have a plan right now. It's Cade and everybody else just watch, so you don't know how good everybody else is. And it's unfortunate in my opinion. And then when they pop off like Middleton and the fly low and did with you, and they pop off elsewhere, everybody gonna be looking like, why they didn't do that here? You gotta put these guys to be successful. So yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing them get Ingram. I wouldn't mind seeing them trying to get Booker and Ingram, especially if they land a number 1 pick. But what I don't mind is they don't have a plan. Have a plan. That's all you ask these brothers. Have a plan. Have a plan. What are we gonna be known for? Gritty, dirty, grimy, fun to watch, scoring ball facilitating, ball rotate, whatever y'all gonna be known as, hard nose. What are y'all gonna be known for? One thing Brad Holmes came in and did, they knew exactly what they wanted. They know what type of player they wanted. We want a guy that loves football. We want a guy that ain't scared to do whatever we ask you to do. And for the Pistons, they done alienated a lot of those guys in that locker room. And I think, and to be honest, and I'm going to talk about this, a lot of the problems happen in Detroit. With Killian Hayes. What Sada Baby was saying, I guarantee you was true. When Hayes would start, when we got the green light over guys that deserve to play, I think that's where they issue started in the locker room. I think Monty didn't help that neither. I think that, we talking about, well, they should have drafted Booker. They should have drafted Mitchell. They should have drafted this guy. They would have fucked them up. Darko, Rasheed Wallace did an interview, said Darko really could play, but they didn't let him play. This ain't a Tom Gorstian tip. The Pistons been tearing people out the frame for years. Let's keep it funky. They've been messing up draft picks for years. And that's just me being honest. So, I mean, it is what it is, man. And you bring in, you go trade for, I have no issue. Have a plan. Have a vision for a system. Have a vision for a system, and I don't have an issue with it. So let me know what you girls and guys think. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance, get notifications. We go live and drop video financially. Want to support the channel? Cash App, $, CJ Good 313, Venmo, CJ Good 313, PayPal link description. Hit the link tree, find me on Instagram, Spotify, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Anchor, and all my other channels. Peace.